In the bottom right half of the composition, all options are more or less specifically tied to 3D work. Let us enter the layer, just double click it, go into composition and composition settings, head over to the 3D renderer tab and change the renderer from classic 3D to Cinema 4D and press OK. Now to make the layers 3D as well, press and drag over the 3 cubic boxes to enable it. And perhaps the text a little bit as well if needed. And this is a time when the proportional grid comes in very handy to center it. So I will just press the arrow icon here on the left side of the layer, go to geometry options and change the extrusion depth to 100. To also apply it to the others, mark extrusion depth and edit, copy and mark the other 2 layers, then edit and paste. This is a 3D text layer in its very basic form, but pretty much the sky is the limit here. First up, we got the Draft 3D. If not enabled already and you actually have a layer in 3D, first head to Preferences, Display. Making sure that the Hardware Accelerate Composition, Layer and Footage panels are marked and turned on. And also that your computer is actually meeting the minimum requirement. The Draft 3D options give you this field of view to visually help orientate in 3D space. A really helpful tool to navigate a lot easier and faster within the composition. That horizontal field of lines or stretches is called 3D ground plane and can be switched on and off on the icon here. Beside that one is the extended viewer, giving this endless spacey depth of field outside the main composition. Options to quickly choose between Classic 3D, Advanced 3D and Cinema 4D. Going into the Classic 3D first, let's quickly turn on and adjust the length of the light and the shape layer in the timeline. First in Classic 3D using a spotlight. And let's go into render options, viewing the difference between the lowest 250 quality versus the 4000. With Advanced 3D, we need to use the environment light to cast shadows, and we're changing this here. This gives a bit different type of shadow, and to be able to see it better or closer to the text, just move the depth or set position a bit with the shape layer. Possibly adjust the settings from render quality 300 and smoothness 32 all the way down to 1. Resolution up to double 128 megabytes, memory full 16 megabyte and down to half 2 megabyte. Diving back into our text layer comp, now showing in Draft 3D with Cinema 4D, the options will be the same for Classic and Advanced 3D. Where it now says Active Camera, we have a 3D view pop-up which let us change the viewing mode of the composition when working in 3D. At the same time, there's no additional active camera layer in the composition and timeline, reflecting a familiar view for both current active camera default and the default. However, if adding a new camera by right-clicking the timeline, go to New, choose Camera, and just keep the default settings, the active camera has changed and may now be controlled separately, giving us a new option in the view pop-up as Camera 1. However, if I change back to default original view before the added camera, as seen if deleting the camera again, there's a variety of camera angles from front, left, top, back, right, and bottom. You have 3 custom view cameras, which down at the custom view 3 camera settings might be adjusted to any type, zoom or angle you find appropriate. If you're in one of the custom views and move the camera around or perhaps get lost, quickly reset the camera back to default here at Reset Custom View Camera. The last option will create a new camera layer in the timeline from the current camera view you're currently at. All these alternatives are both helpful by themselves and also really great when you're working with more than one composition view. In the bottom right corner of the composition, there are drop-down menu options for one view, as the one we're seeing right now, and two views to get another window in. And this can be handy when you want to view the outcome of a camera movement in the left window with the active camera or the default one, and using, for example, a top view to the right or something similar to move the actual camera. Perhaps throw in another two window views there as well for that optimal control and perspective with the four views.